Okay, our next topic is the backcross in the plant breeding. As you know, we have studied the many aspects regarding with the plant breeding program. Now, under this plant breeding program, we have done the pedigree analysis, right? The bulk method of selection. What are their various advantages? What are their disadvantages? Now, every time when we deal with this particular technique, our primary aim is to improve the crop variety. Okay, whatever the variety is there, we want to improve that particular variety from our agricultural standpoint. So on the very similar lines, we have the another process in the plant breeding program, which is called as the back crossing. Now, the back crossing is also deals with the improvement of the character within the plants. Okay, so here whatever the crop plant we are dealing with, by using the back cross we can improve that particular species from the agricultural point of view. So our final aim, whether it is a pedigree selection, whether it is a bulk selection, or whether it is a back cross, every time we are going to improve our crop variety. This is the basic aim of all of these processes. So we should understand what do you mean by the back cross. Okay, what is the procedure for the back cross, and how we can improve the crop variety by using the back cross. All of this will be the part of your UPSC main syllabus. Okay, consider this is your syllabus. We are dealing with the paper number 2 and the chapter number 3, that is plant breeding, biotechnology, and the biostatistics. And we are here at the back cross. Okay, we have completed the pedigree, mass selection, and the bulk method, and the last method is the back cross method. Now, to really understand the back cross, let's get ourselves introduced to the back cross method. Now, see, when it comes to the back cross, there are actually the two parents which are involved into this particular process, because the process of hybridization is going to occur. The very first parent in this regard is called as the donor parent. Okay, and as the name suggests, it is going to donate something. Okay, it's a donor parent, and it is always cross with the recurrent parent. Okay, the name of the second parent is the recurrent parent, because this particular recurrent variety is not a new variety for the plant breeding program, and it is already a improved variety, and that is why it is called as the recurrent variety. So here in the back cross, you should carefully understand this. Whatever the varieties, whatever the two plants we are using here, this particular plant A, which is called as the donor parent, and plant B, which is called as the recurrent parent, both of these parent possess the superior characteristics. This is very important to understand, because in our previous methods, that is the pedigree analysis or the bulk method, we have also dealt with the non-desirable characters or the undesirable characters. But here, both of these parents possess the desirable character. For example, here the recurrent parent is having a very good protein content. Okay, the protein content is very high into this particular recurrent parent, because it is an already a variety which is developed by the plant breeding program. Okay, so through the repeated hybridization, this recurrent parent we have created, which has the very high protein content, and it also shows the greater adaptability towards the nature. That is, their adaptations are also very good, plus their production, their yield is also very high. So this is an parent which shows the majority of the character which are there already present, because it is already created through the hybridization program. Now, the second donor parent is having something very special which is absent in the recurrent parent. For example, although having all of these desirable character into this particular recurrent parent, it lacks the one important characteristic, that is the disease resistance. For example, we are taking here the disease resistance is lacking in the recurrent parent. But this alone disease resistance, which is not present in the recurrent parent, it is present in the this particular donor parent. So this donor parent is typically showing the high degree of disease resistance. So we have the one parent which shows all of these particular favorable characteristics in their bodies, but it lacks the one. While we have the another donor parent which has a one particular characteristics which makes it very superior than the parent B, that is the disease resistance. Now in such a case, what we should want? What is our primary aim of having this particular hybridization method? Here we should want the disease resistance gene of this particular donor plant. It should be present in the recurrent parent. Then it will have the very high protein content, then the high adaptability, then it will produce more, and at the same time it will have the disease resistance. So we just want to transfer this single gene which is controlling the disease resistance into this donor parent, and we want to donate that particular gene into the recurrent parent. So basically in the back cross, what we are doing, we are only going for the one desirable character. Okay, this desirable character is we are going to achieve in the recurrent parent through the process of hybridization. Now consider we have made the cross of it and we have created the progeny. Okay, the new progeny is created out of the cross between the parent A, that is the donor parent, and the parent B, that is the recurrent parent. Okay, so in this particular progeny which is created out of this cross, this progeny is going to cross again with the recurrent parent. You should understand these steps very carefully, because in a UPSC means this particular flow chart should not get should not create any mistake. Okay, so here this particular recurrent parent plus the progeny which is created out of this particular cross, we will back cross it. Okay, what we are doing here we are back crossing, because this particular F2 generation is going F1 generation is going back to cross with the original parent, and hence this particular process is called as the back cross. Okay, hence this title is given, that is the back cross, because whatever the next generation we have created, this particular next generation is going back and crossing with the original parent, and hence we are calling it as a back cross. Okay, now after the back cross, what we will do here there will be some plants formation will be there, some progenies will be created. So out of these progenies we are going to select some of the progenies which will show all of these characters along with the disease resistance. For example, here we have created the 5 plants, and these are 5 plants. Out of these 5 plants, 2 are showing all of these character protein, high protein content, high adaptability, high production, and plus the disease resistance. Okay, so the 3 progenies are not showing this character, but the 2 are showing this character. Then these 2 again back cross for the repeated for the many times. Okay, this back crossing we are going to done for many times in order to create the progenies which can easily transfer all of these characters. That is our aim, is to stabilize all of these characters into this particular progeny, and hence we are going to do the many repetitions of this particular hybridization. Once we have created the progeny out of the donor parent and the recurrent parent, then we have crossed this progeny again back with the recurrent parent, and hence the name back cross. And that progeny which is yielded after the back cross, we are going to analyze it and we are going to select the particular plants out of it, and then we will repeat this particular process of back crossing till there is a formation of a progeny which will inherit all of these characters very easily. So if the characters are got stable after the subsequent hybridization processes, then this progeny will be the stable progeny, and finally we will have all of the genes in a one single progeny, so that now we can use this particular progeny directly into our agricultural field. Now the advantage of having this particular progeny is that along with these desirable character, it is also showing the characteristic of a disease resistance. So finally we have the process in which we are going to transfer a single gene of interest, that is here in this case the disease resistance, to the recurrent parent through the process of back crossing. Okay, now you should remember that this particular process of back crossing is suitable for self as well as cross pollinated plants. Now this is important because in our earlier methods we have dealt with such a methods which are only suitable for the either for the self pollinated plants or the cross pollinated plants, but this particular back cross method is suitable. That is, it is not only suitable for the self-pollinated crops, but it is also suitable for the cross-pollinated crops. Now, the second thing you have to remember is that we always do this particular back cross procedure for the phenotypic characters which can be easily recognizable in the progeny. That is, whatever the phenotypic characters are there relating to that gene, it should be easily recognizable. That is for the disease, such as the disease resistance. If the plants are easily showing the disease resistance, then phenotypically we can directly decide or directly select which plants have that particular gene or not. If the phenotypic character is not there for that particular gene which is going to transfer from the donor plant to the recurrent parent, then it will be very difficult for the process of selection. So we will always do for a qualitative character such as the which shows some morphological characteristics once it comes in the progeny, because then and only then we can actually select them on the basis of the morphological character which is shown by that particular gene. Okay, now this particular repetition of the hybridization that is repeated back cross, it is also called as the recurrent hybridization. You should also remember this particular term as a recurrent hybridization, because here we are doing the repeated back process of the next generation progeny with that of the original parent, and hence the term recurrent hybridization is always used for this particular technique. Okay, so here in the back cross, what you should understand, what this particular back cross has different in the from the pedigree and the bulk is that we are getting back in the earlier generation to have the cross and to transfer the desirable gene from the donor parent to the recurrent parent. Okay, so this is how we do the back cross, and this is the procedure, and this and all of these are the characters of this particular bulk cross, sorry, back cross technique. All right.